curious, obviously, maybe not the ending you were hoping for, but just your experience overall at the Four Nations tournament. How was it, kind of being in that setting for the first time?
Yeah, fun. Good experience. Hard to know what to expect when you go into a tournament like that. Everything going around the rink and, what type of game everything is going to be. But, yeah, it was fun. High-paced game, physical, a little bit maybe more physical than I expected it to be. But, yeah, it was a fun tournament to play in. Like I said, really good experience, I think, for the remainder of the season and for the future too. So that was good.
Was there like a standout moment for you as like, hey, this is maybe like my coolest takeaway from the week?
I mean, the first game I think was, first 10 minutes of the first game was crazy, not in a good way for us. But I think after that, we kind of showed up to play. I think we played really well that game. Felt like it was a game that we definitely could have won. So that was a game that we, I think we were happy with. Obviously, frustrated not winning it, but I think playing a team like that and showing that we can play with them. I know, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to Sweden. We're a small country, produce a lot of good hockey players, so that we can, beat USA and lose an OT against Canada. That's obviously we would like to beat them both. But I think overall, I think it was some things we can take with us for just the future of hockey in Sweden was big.
That Canada game felt like one of the highest level hockey games that I've watched. Did it feel the same way for you, like one of the highest levels you played at?
Yeah, for sure. I think the pace, I think I was talking about it after in the media, it was kind of like a playoff game, but even more intense and even more, pace going on to at it, and especially with every line being that skilled, it's obviously you got to know when you're out there against McKinnon and McDavid and those guys, but every line is top end players, so it was a different type of game, but tight games, and teams didn't give up a lot of chances. Maybe people thought before that it was going to be more chances going back and forth, but I think every team played really solid defensively, and there wasn't a lot of chances going either way. So that was it's hard to play, but it was fun.
Did you send Drew a message after scoring that goal with him right in front of you? Or?
No, I didn't. I talked to him a lot during the week. He texted me after the game, and I texted him, going into the final game and everything like that. So we talked throughout the week, but he was a little upset after that one. But happy for him. I think he played really well in that tournament.
How difficult is it when you have so much talent, but then you guys have never really? I mean, you had like one practice. How difficult is it to go into that high intense game right away?
I mean, everybody's so skilled, and everybody, I think. Not super hard, obviously you want to get to know your line mates, all that kind of stuff, the system and everything. The system, I think, is probably the hardest thing. It's a little different than we play usually here, and so that was kind of the thing. You go out there, you don't obviously want to think too much when you play. You want to play on your instincts. You want to play. That's when you play your best game, and so that was maybe the most challenging thing. But playing with different guys, I think. Once you got a couple practices and a couple periods in, I thought it was pretty natural. But just like I said, everybody tried to keep it pretty simple in the beginning, just to get the legs and all that kind of get the emotions out of the way right away. But it's I think it was a good tournament, especially for the future, especially for Olympics next year, to get the guys together.
Talked with Kempe, and he said it was really weird when he would play internationally, against his Kings teammates. When you're in the moment, do you even realize oh, that's Drew, and how do you kind of approach a battle if it's your guy that's your teammate in a week?
I mean, you don't try to think about it too much on the ice. Obviously, he's on the goal. I obviously saw there was Drew, so obviously I don't know what I thought, or I can't remember what I thought, but he probably thought I was going to dangle him. I don't know, but so there's some small things. Maybe I know Drew probably better than anyone on all those teams, and he probably knows me. So I try to see what his weaknesses are. Try to use my my speed and all that kind of stuff. And he's really good defensively, so it's a little different. But you don't try to think too much about it when you're out there against him. It's more maybe between the whistles.
How would you compare this tournament to the previous international tournaments you've played again?
I mean, I think it's different.
Whether juniors or world championships.
World juniors maybe little similar. This is the first tournament in a while when I played on the small rink. So I think World Championships on the big rink is a big difference. Obviously against some of the teams you play against is different. But just the game changes. I think I like the game more on the small rink better than the big rink. Big rink is, you get a little too far away. I feel like, especially for my type of game where I want to be direct, I want to shoot the puck, and you cross the blue line on the big rink, you feel like you're so far away from the net. So it's a little more high danger chances, I think, on small rink, and I think the pace and the intensity is better on small rink. So that's I want to say that's the biggest difference from me playing World Championships on big rinks. World Juniors, I can't really remember how it was, but high paced game. I feel like when you're younger, obviously you trade more chances. You're not as maybe playing as well the system and all that kind of stuff. So that's something that I was impressed by every team in this tournament. How everybody played the system well. Didn't give up a lot of chances, and that was really tough to score.